presents a Kult Divinity Lost actual play of The Shunned. This actual play contains mature themes and descriptions of situations that may be disturbing. Products of the illusion, horror, and con are not suitable for anyone under the age of 18. The content warnings listed in the description are not exhaustive and may not cover all sensitive topics explored in gameplay. Listener discretion is advised. Please note that the views and opinions expressed by characters during this actual play do not necessarily reflect the views of the individual player, the Illusion Horror Con, its organizers, sponsors, or partners. For more information about the convention or any events associated with the Illusion Horror and Con, please visit our website or join us on Discord. Links are in the description. Thank you for listening, and enjoy the show. Hello, and welcome back to the Illusion Horror and Con YouTube channel, where tonight we are continuing our scenario, The Shunned, for Kult Divinity Lost. This is session 2 of the scenario, so if you did not listen to session 1, you can go back and listen to that so you know what's going on. And thank you for tuning in. So last week, where we left off with our players is they had just left Devonsport High School, where they were investigating the school shooting that happened there about 6 weeks ago. And they saw maybe a little bit of something horrifying, a little bit something that they weren't expecting to see. Maybe they don't quite believe it themselves. We can ask them. Now they are in the car heading to a meeting that they had planned with Ashley Dapperton, who is the daughter of Philip Dapperton, who's the mayor of Devonsport, and cousin to Toby Hovak, who is being played by Mal. And Mal, how about you introduce yourself and Toby, and let us know where Toby's head is at right now as he's getting into the car and heading to this meeting with Ashley.
Hello, I'm Mal, and like last time, you can find me in the Illusion Horror Con Discord. I'm always in there lurking, looking for another cult game to play. My character, Toby, right now, I think he is stressed after what he saw at the school. If they're in the car right now, he's leaning against the passenger door with the window down and is currently smoking a cigarette. I think after what he saw, sugar isn't going to cut it, and he's stressed enough that he needs some type of vice right now.
All right. Yeah. Let's go to the driver of said vehicle, who is Dwayne McLean. And if you want to introduce yourself, let us know who Dwayne is, and then what is his state of mind right now?
Yes, I'm Valentine, going by Kevin the Radio Guy on socials. And I'm still playing Dwayne McLean. And after what he saw in the school, he kind of thinks that what they are doing right now, going to this girl and asking her questions, is maybe a little bit futile. There is something bigger going on, and he actually is deep in his head trying to connect how is it like to any benefit of the people he's working for. But he comes out empty-handed. You know what he saw. He tries to pretend that this is maybe a hallucination or something along those lines, but something deeper in his mind is lurking. So he's sort of filtering out all the noise, the presence of Toby right beside him, the fact that he's smoking, and maybe just quietly mumbling under his breath, going in circles like we should pursue other threads. This is all ridiculous. We should drop this girl, and so on and so forth, but nothing too coherent.
Okay. Just to set the scene a little bit more, it is still Thursday, December 4th, 2014. It's in the evening now, so it's getting close to 7 p.m. That was the time that you were going to meet with Ashley at a local park. And yeah, you guys are driving there. It'll take you about 5 to 10 minutes to drive there. It's a cool evening. It's fall in the Pacific Northwest. Devonsport is near Seattle. It's on the coast of Washington. So it's kind of cool. There's some fog rolling in this evening. It's a fairly lovely evening if the events of earlier weren't still on your mind, probably. You two have a scene in the car if you want to have a chat. Otherwise, we'll get to the meeting with Ashley.
If nothing is said to Toby, he will remain silent. He's trying to work his way through this pack of cigarettes, so...
Same here, unless Toby doesn't initiate a conversation. I'm going to still be in my head.
Okay. So the car ride is silent, besides maybe some mumbling under Dwayne's breath. The crackling of Toby's cigarettes as he probably finishes one and then lights another. And the two of you reach the meeting point, the local park. It's nighttime. It's not completely dark yet. The sun is just about going down. There's a little bit of moonlight, but like I said, it's foggy, so it's more of a sort of diffused light. You don't really need flashlights or anything. There's a street lamp or two in the area as well. There's a swing set. There's a slide. There's some other toys for kids to play. This is typically a pretty popular park during the daytime. And as you reach the parking lot of this park, you see actually two figures in the park. One is sitting on one of the swings, and the other is leaning against the post that's holding the swings up. The one on the swings looks female. You can't really see their faces at this point. The other one looks male. What do you guys want to do?
Toby will take out his phone and text Ashley, "We're at the park. Is that you by the swings?"
Okay. You send it, and immediately you see the figure on the swings take out a phone, flip it open, and text back with the lightning speed of a teenager. Yes, it's me. I'm here.
Right. I'll turn to Dwayne. That's her over there. She just confirmed it. Is there anything specific you want? You're gonna take the lead on the questioning, or you have the most? No.
It's better for you to talk. After all, police shot her boyfriend, so I think I'd rather be on the periphery.
Oh, good point. I didn't think about that. So, yeah, I'll try. He'll get out the car and start to make his way over.
I'm following him,
Okay.
but on a respectful distance, as
Mhm.
if trying not to intrude, but still be there if something's going to go wrong. But I'm kind of looking at that male figure. Anyone familiar?
Yes, as you get closer, I mean, you both were reading the case files, so you would notice that the male figure with Ashley is actually Hussein Abdahi. He was described as Patrick's best friend and the student that was looking through the window in the security footage that you guys watched, the window of the door into Frank Dubois' classroom, where Patrick went first in his shooting.
Two birds with one stone, then.
Yeah. So as you approach, Ashley stands up from the swings and says, "Hi, hi, Toby. You brought somebody?"
Yeah, sorry about that. Probably should have told you before we came. Your dad has both of us working on this case, basically.
Right. Okay.
You want me to move over there? And I point to the nearest bench.
She kind of hesitates and then she looks at Hussein and he kind of shrugs his shoulders and gives a sort of look of concession. And she says, "No, it's okay, Officer McLean. It's, you can stay. Just, if you're both working on it, then yeah, we should probably tell you both."
Yeah, I'm still going to step a little bit aside just for her own comfort.
Okay. Yeah. So, so you're looking into the shooting then, Toby?
Yes, and I gotta say it, I'm sorry to be here and asking you about it. I know you've probably talked about it enough, but a lot of people are just confused. They don't understand how this could have happened. I mean, everybody who has talked about Patrick seems to have viewed him as a upstanding young man who was described by multiple people as kind.
Yes, he he was. Um,
Hmm.
I don't understand. I don't understand this either. He was such a good person. He was such a better person than me for sure. And it sounds like she's starting to get a little choked up, but she tries to control herself and calms down. It doesn't make sense for him to have done this. It simply does not make sense.
Do you know if maybe he made some new friends, maybe texting online to people? Maybe he didn't just have the idea suddenly to do it. Maybe there were other people who maybe put ideas into his head, new people in his life, basically.
I honestly don't see how there could have been any new people. And she also looks at Hussein. While she says this, Patrick spent literally all of his time with me and Hussein, and anytime he wasn't with us, he was studying. He was in that geeky science Olympiad thing that we had at school. Like he was kind of a goody-goody, honestly. I don't see how he would have been. I saw him barely online. I mean, I had to post pictures on his Facebook if I wanted pictures of us up there.
Speaking of which, do you happen to have his socials or maybe on your phone? Maybe we can check to see if he was DMing people who, I mean, whoever he bought the gun from, maybe he was DMing them and we can get information on how he acquired the gun if you still have access to his social medias.
I mean, yeah, I do. I've checked all of that. I'll give you his password and stuff. I've been using his password to, you know, trying to delete all the hateful messages from his Facebook that he's been getting. I mean, you can go through it. I haven't erased them all. It's just been so much. I mean, yeah, I'll text it to you, and she texts you his socials.
Thank you. I appreciate it. I do. Did you happen to, I mean, this type of gun that he had, I used to be in the army. The type of gun that he had at the time, he would have had to practice with it basically to be able to use it the way he did. Do you know if maybe he was going out into the woods or anything? I mean, obviously you wouldn't have information, you wouldn't know about the gun, but do you know if he was ever just going out into the woods by himself maybe some days?
Ashley looks a little bit distressed by this question. And I think then at this point is when Hussein starts to chime in. He places a hand on her shoulder, and it's like a friendly hand. It's not romantic in any way. It's friendly. And he chimes in. Look, Toby, again, I don't know. I don't think that was Patrick. I don't know where he would have gotten this gun. I don't know when he would have practiced. I don't know where he would have practiced. I don't think he practiced. Like Ashley said, the three of us spent a lot of time together. When Patrick wasn't with one of us, he was actually with Mr. Dubois, the science teacher. He's the leader of the science Olympiad, and I mean they had just gone to Seattle together, and they won a big Olympiad competition thing there. I mean, Patrick didn't have time to do any of this stuff, and yeah,
What do you mean it wasn't Patrick?
He hesitates, and him and Ashley look at each other, and they look a little frightened.
Listen, there's been a lot of weird shit going on, so I can promise you one thing. If you now tell me that it is actually some sort of an alien skinwalker that abducted Patrick and took his guys to shoot up the school, I can promise you that I will consider it seriously.
I think with that, Ashley maybe gives a sort of wan smile. there's no humor in it, but she appreciates the sentiment, and she reaches into her back pocket of her jeans and takes out a folded piece of paper. So Hussein and I have been talking since it happened. And both of us, we saw something that we couldn't explain. And it's not something we could have told the FBI. They would have thought we were fucking insane. But we both saw Patrick, but we saw somebody else too. Patrick turned into somebody else when he was doing that awful thing. It wasn't him. It couldn't have been him. And he hands the paper to, I think she just puts it in the middle of the two of you. And, whoever wants to grab it can grab it.
I will note to Toby.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll grab the paper then.
Okay. If you open it up, it is it's a pencil sketch of a face, the face of a young man. It's not Patrick. You don't recognize who it is, Toby. And Ashley continues. Hussein and I, we saw this person. I enjoy drawing, so I thought I could sketch his face, and we agree that this is the person that we saw.
Is this someone you saw? I ask Toby.
In the school when I saw Patrick before he grew 9 feet, did he look like Patrick, or was the face distorted?
The face was distorted when you saw him in the school.
I didn't really get a face. It was distorted, like in the video that we watched.
Same from Dwayne's part.
Are you looking at the picture as well, Dwayne?
Yes, I'm leaning over to look at the picture, and I think that even the teenagers might notice that he's becoming nervous. At least he started to tap his foot very rapidly.
Mm-hmm. Dwayne, I need you to roll a keep it together, please, and I will explain why after you roll it.
Of course. It is a glorious 11. Partial success.
Dwayne, you recognize this man in the drawing. This man is Eric Switzer.
Let me write that down. Mm-hmm. Who is that? Who is this man?
And he should be mentioned in your background.
Really? I might have forgotten his name. Let me see.
Okay.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
So...
the tapping becomes even more rapid.
Yeah. So, yeah. What do you choose out of the keep it together?
First, I thought that he might be sort of scared because it ties up with something unknown. But since it's someone I know, I think I am becoming more and more angry.
Okay.
This is now turning very personal and not in a way I'd like it to be.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Is it possible to read a person? I kind of want to read either Ashley or Hassan just to see whether or not they're lying.
Sure. Just read, go ahead and roll for that. And I'll say you could read both of them.
Out of 10.
Okay.
And my question is, are you lying? Yeah.
The two of them look very earnest. Ashley has been on the verge of tears this whole time. Hussein looks very sad. He doesn't look nervous or anything like that. He just looks incredibly sad. The way he's been speaking about Patrick has just been incredibly sad. It doesn't seem like they're lying to you. It seems like they're just two kids who thought they knew their friend and something really bad happened to them, you know?
Okay.
I'll lean over to Toby and kind of loudly whisper, like, I kind of believe them.
Mm-hmm.
I do too. Well, is there anything else that either one of you noticed or wants to add before we...
Again, other than both of us seeing this person, not really. It just Patrick was so good. He was such a good, kind person, and he was so smart. And it's really not fair that his memory is being treated like this. Yeah, it's not fair.
If it's not Patrick who did that and this person, where or what had happened to Patrick, in your opinion?
Fuck if I know. He wasn't acting differently. He wasn't like nothing was weird. I don't know what happened. Magic or something? I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. Hussein and I have been trying to rack our brains to think of something, but I mean, like I said, Patrick hung out with us for the most part, and then when he wasn't with us, he was, he was studying science. He was studying for the science Olympiad. He was, he spent a lot of time with Mr. Dubois, the science teacher, preparing for these competitions. But yeah, or he was with his family. Other than that, we don't know. We don't know.
Hussein, you when we watched security footage, you watched what happened in the room for a while before running away. Is there a specific reason why it took you a while to run? Did you notice, I mean, besides the fact that it wasn't Patrick, did you notice anything else strange as you watched from the other side of the door?
He takes his arms and he hugs himself. He crosses his arms in front of himself and he says, Patrick and I walk to school with each other every morning. Like every morning. Unless one of us is sick, it's every morning. So when he didn't walk with me that morning, I made an excuse. I said I had to go to the bathroom. So I went and I saw him go into the class. So I decided to go look and try to talk to him. I've never seen anybody shot before that. He just let. It was really, really terrible. And I don't know if I blacked out. I don't know why they told me I was standing there for minutes, for a long time. I can't tell you why. I don't know. I don't know what happened. But it was horrible.
Hey, I understand some people freeze when they see things like that. I'm glad you have Ashley and that y'all have each other, because after stuff like that, it's good to stick together. Don't be on your own. Don't bottle it up. It's good that y'all have this communication going.
Yeah. It's been good to talk with somebody who knows.
Okay, I understand that.
I'm kind of
I'm going.
patting myself on the pockets. I assume I would have some sort of a notebook and a pencil or something along those lines.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'm starting to very quickly sketch something, and I'm asking, you said you walk together to school. You mean from your homes or just from the doors of the school?
Well, and this is Hussein speaking. Well, Patrick and I, Patrick would meet at my house because that's on the way to school, and then we walked together the rest of the way.
I know that you wrote him something like, "Where is he?" And before that, what was the last communication? That morning, the evening before?
I think I might have called him the night before just to talk. I mean, we talk to each other most days, so.
Yeah, it's okay. I'm just trying to figure out when something happened to him. And I'm tearing that piece that I've been sketching. I've been trying to recreate that symbol that Carol said were on the doors of some people. Maybe it's not exactly the same, but I remember the rough shapes. And I offer it probably to Ashley, going, this might be nothing, but do you find this thing familiar?
No, I haven't seen. I don't know what that is.
Well, if you ever see it drawn, both of you, could you let Toby know?
Yeah, sure. No problem.
You can keep that.
Sure, thanks.
Well, I'm pretty much done. I have one more question, but it's not really relevant to Patrick himself. I'm gonna look at Dwayne to see if he has more questions about the case before I move on to my last question.
He looks like he wants to get out of here as quickly as he can. Something seems to be boiling inside of him, something that he tries to bottle up, but he knows it's going to explode very soon.
Okay, well then I'll hurry along to my last questions because Ashley, I did you share any of this with your dad? I'm just asking because it seemed odd to be revisiting the case after it's been closed up the way it is. So I was wondering if maybe you knew why he wanted us to investigate.
I absolutely did not tell him any of this. I mean, he thinks he's some like secret agent or something like that. He's, he talks to this Jessica Inzio person all the time. She's calling him all the time. It seems like she gave him this to do, which I don't know. I don't know why I don't like this Jessica person. She gives me the creeps. She's been to the house a couple times, and I don't know. I get a bad feeling about her.
Okay. Well, I don't have anything else to add to that. By the way, I know that you haven't really been that close. You know, I'm a little bit of the family fuck up, but if you if you need me, if you need to talk, if anything, let me know. We're family, and I am here.
I think with this, she comes up to you and gives you a hug and says,
Oh, he'll hug her back.
Yeah. Thanks. I wanted to reach out to you, but Dad is a little, he's a little protective of me, overprotective.
I mean, I get it. I was in a bad spot for a bit, and I'm still getting out of that spot, even if I am doing better. So I get him keeping us separate for a bit.
Yeah.
But just so you know, Dad or not, you can always text me whenever you need.
Okay. Thank you. I will.
All right.
Okay.
With that, I'll turn to Dwayne. I think we're done here, and thank both of you for coming to talk and sharing this with us.
Yeah, of course. The two of them will start to move toward the parking lot. There's another car there, and they'll move towards that. Dwayne?
I'm waiting for them to actually get in the car and start driving away.
Okay.
Before finally kind of taking a deep breath and then just screaming, "God fucking damn it!" and slamming my foot into the nearest trash can.
Hey, okay. You okay, Dwayne?
And I'm pointing at that sketch and going like, I know this person, and it's turning very personal right now.
Who is he?
And this is where I pause. And I'm going like, he's someone I know, but who shouldn't know about me, actually. I believe them because this guy has been growing up a piece of shit. And in my head, I'm adding probably took after his father.
I mean, if you know him, I mean, this is a big lead then. Is he in the area? I mean, of course he's in the area. If
He shouldn't be. Listen, my wife died quite some time ago, and you know, men sometimes get lonely, and I just leave it at that.
what does that mean? Toby's confused. What does that mean?
Does he ask that like out loud?
Yes, because he's confused because we're talking about this man, and you just said your wife died, and sometimes men get lonely. And he can understand maybe if we're talking about a woman, but he doesn't want to ask outright. But in his head, he's thinking it's just like a gay lover you don't want to talk about, but he doesn't want to say that out loud.
And you're absolutely correct for not saying it out loud, because the next thing he goes, and he's quite embarrassed about it, he just shrugs and goes, let's just say we have certain familial relationship.
Hey man, I'm not judging anything. It's okay. Well, you know him. We have a lead. We have, if you know the spots he hangs out at, since you've had this old connection, we can visit them and try to see if we can find him.
Yeah, as far as I know, he should be in Seattle.
Seattle, where the teacher was taking Patrick for the math competition. They visited Seattle.
Yes, that sort of Seattle, but
Maybe that could be how the two met. Maybe that's how they came in contact with each other.
I'm just trying to understand. I would understand if he would have certain vendetta against myself and would try to do something to me or to Carol or to my grandchildren. But why this kid? And this specific teacher?
Just more for us to look into.
I will have to have an awkward conversation with his mother, it seems.
Okay. Are you gonna do that tonight, or you gotta wait till the next day?
This answer would depend on what our game master will tell me. As far as I understand, I did not keep in contact with his mom, like after she left.
Right.
Yeah. So I'll tell. It will take some time. We didn't keep in contact. She didn't want anything to do with me.
You do know that she still lives in town, but Eric lives in Seattle. Last you heard.
I would check out maybe social media and try to contact like that, because I wouldn't want to barge as a police officer into her house.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe we can figure it out friendly.
Okay.
But it shouldn't be a problem. There shouldn't be a lot of Evas here that have a son named Eric.
Yeah. You find her pretty quickly. Maybe you've even looked at her socials before. You know that let me just see here. Yeah. You look up Ava Switzer and you find her pretty quickly. You can slip into her DMs if you like.
Not at the moment. I'm thinking that maybe I need some sort of a hook to start this conversation. So the first thing I would need actually to do is to see what Eric has been up to lately. Maybe he didn't post for quite a while. Maybe he had posted something disturbing, so I can at least pretend to be a concerned father.
Okay. So you're looking through his social media first?
Yes, I suppose that in my life I probably kept an eye more on him rather than her, especially when I noticed certain tendencies in this boy.
Sure. So you're doing that, Toby. So I think the way this plays out is that Dwayne is sort of kind of in his phone. He's, probably looking kind of angry and frustrated, maybe all thumbs. You can correct me if I'm wrong, Dwayne.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's focusing very much on his phone. And you guys are still in this park. What are you thinking, Toby?
I think in this moment, Toby is just going over the case. I feel like in his head, he's like so confused and baffled by everything they've been through today. Just what he saw at the school, what Ashley and Hassan just told him, the thing going on with Dwayne knowing the person that they drew, because at this point, he doesn't know who this guy is to Dwayne. He's thinking ex-gay lover, even though obviously that is the case. But he's just, today has been a lot for him, I think. And it's a strain on his mind. So he's trying to put it together, I think. He's giving Dwayne the space to do whatever he's doing on his phone, contacting who he's contacting, and he's just looking around while he thinks over the day.
Okay.
Have you seen that symbol, by the way?
Me?
Mm-hmm.
Have I?
You have not seen it, besides, other than today when... Dwayne, did you show Toby earlier, or did you just pull it out?
No, I mean just now when I sketched it.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't have anything to show earlier to begin with.
Right, okay. Yeah, other than just now when Dwayne showed you Toby, you have never seen the symbol.
No, this is my first time seeing it.
Let's be connected. Let's keep our eyes open for it.
Okay.
Yeah. So, are you walking back towards the car? As you're
yes, I think
through?
Toby is.
Okay. So, due to it being 2014, your phone internet situation is a little slow. But you do, since you did say that you were trying to follow Eric as much as possible, you would know that his social media presence is quite sparse. And basically you can look through like a number of years very, very quickly because he barely posts anything. He barely does anything. A lot of his posts, especially from when he was a teenager, it was very much quotes from songs that are very emo quotes from songs, basically. Very emotional, and then some of them even sort of borderline violent. It was very moody teenager social media behavior of the early 2000s. You do see, though, that there is a pretty there's a stopping point in his social media, and it is around 2010. That's when his social media, even the moody teenager song lyric posting, that pretty much stops completely.
Interesting. Just in case, I wanted to check whether or not maybe in 2010 there was some of those Olympiads that they mentioned. Because I could imagine that a kid might have gotten this obsession early in his life, and this is just when he played it out.
Mm-hmm. You can look up the Science Olympiads. There was a Science Olympiad that year, and they've been going on for a number of years. Frank Dubois has been doing it since, I'd say, the early 2000s when he started teaching at Devonsport.
That is quite interesting. And I think, however reluctant I am about this whole thing, I will actually need to convey this to Toby, saying like, I think I will get in contact with his mom, but I feel like there's all this like Columbine bullshit is going on his page. Like, look at this. And I just show one of those emo like violent quotes.
Mm-hmm.
I really can't judge. If I had social media when I was a teen, I probably would have been worse. So,
well, you've seen like,
is he
Ashley's, Patrick's. They're more or less fine. He stops at around 2010, and I'm thinking, would have Patrick been on the Olympiad in Seattle, maybe? That year?
We can check. I mean, we still have to talk to his family eventually, and we can ask more details on that. Of course, they would have to know.
Yeah, I would like to talk to his family, because for now it looks like he went to school, and maybe on the way he was, I don't know, switched places with Eric.
Okay, we can do that.
You want to do it tonight?
What time is it?
It's around probably 8 p.m.
Do we want to bother his family at 8 p.m.?
This is why I'm asking.
If
you would have said yes,
like...
I would have reminded you about the time.
Oh. I don't want to put this on them in the middle of the night. This is a daytime call.
Yes, and as I said, it starts to look like a personal attack. And let's put it like this. No one in this town actually knows that I also have an out-of-wedlock son, and I would really prefer it stays that way.
You say that in Toby face. Not relief exactly, but like there's a part of him that calmed where like, oh, you are the person I know that you are. You don't have this whole secret life that I thought was going on. So he's like, oh, it's your son. Oh, okay.
What did you think?
Doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Is there a reason why he would leave to go to Seattle? Is he actually violent? I mean, I know you showed me the quote, but is your son actually a violent person?
He is, I would say, troubled. Not exactly violent. I can't say very much because his mother was adamant that I keep no contact.
Oh. Well, that probably added to the troubled part. He probably could have benefited from having you in his life.
Oh, he has a father. She's married, and I think that maybe she wanted to make it look like it was her husband's son. I'm not sure if he even knows, but if he does, and he learned about it recently, he might have wanted to get a vendetta on myself and my daughter.
Understandable. Wow, that is a lot for one day.
That's a fucking Santa Barbara.
Is there anything you want to do before we end the night? It's 8 o'clock. I don't know if you had any plans or anything.
I actually wanted to have an eye on the school, see who's sneaking in to make all the mess.
That's smart. Yeah. Okay.
If you want to join, you're welcome. But if you want to get a good sleep, well, I think you deserve it.
No, I don't mind. I'll do the stakeout with you. I don't have anything planned.
But really, I maybe wanted to speak to Carol about the shooting. But I need some time to actually word it properly. You don't just come over to a deputy and ask, oh, are you sure you shot that guy?
Yeah, that makes sense. We should also probably go to the... Is it possible to go to the morgue to see if the body is Patrick's body?
Would it be in my kind of prerogatives, let's call them that?
Like maybe an autopsy report or something?
Yeah, so you would be able to go to the morgue. Dwayne, you still have authority to go to the morgue and get the rundown from the pathologist. But it's too late now. There would not be anybody there.
Maybe that's better.
I mean, sure. You could try to sneak in if you want. So the morgue is at the local hospital, and there might be people working there that you might have to schmooze your way in if the pathologist would not be there now. So they might be suspicious of you going there when the pathologist is not there anymore. But you could potentially do it.
Yeah, and I'll go. We can go. The pathologist probably is not there unless you think that it would be better.
I mean, I think maybe waiting to the day when he is there, because he might have information that we need. He works with bodies. He might be able to tell us something that we ourselves won't be able to point out.
Makes sense.
Oh, yeah, but I'm open to the stakeout of the school to see if anybody comes.
Did your friend, by any chance, said when he's going out the latest from the school?
No, he did not, actually.
Well, then I think we will need to get ourselves a dinner and a lot of coffee, even more sugar.
Sounds like a plan.
And off we go for that.
Off you go. Drive back to the school. You get there and, well, first you just go to a local burger joint, get some burgers, or there's a diner. You could get some other food for takeaway. Whatever you like.
Mm-hmm. Burgers are fine.
Yeah. Get some burgers, get some coffees, and you head back to the school for a good old-fashioned stakeout. And yeah, so you get back, and there is nobody in the parking lot that you can see. There are a couple of street lights that illuminate the parking lot and the road. I imagine you don't want to park in the parking lot necessarily. Do you want to be somewhat
Discreet.
hidden? Discreet? Yeah. So you could probably, I'll say that there's a bit of a service road that is off the main street, and it's kind of hidden within the trees, and it's close enough to the school where you can get a good view of at least the front entrance. Back entrance is a little bit more obscured, and there's not really too many lights back there, but you can get a look at the front entrance and the parking lot in case people drive there or maybe come from the woods or
Well, there are still
whatever.
windows, so if anyone even sneaks from the back who we might not notice, we might see the figures in the windows.
Yeah.
So,
You'd be able to see flashlights shining through the windows. You have a good enough vantage point from where you are to see a good portion of the front entrance plus the sides with windows. So you're fairly confident that if people sneak in there, you'd be able to notice.
I will maybe offer sometimes walking out and seeing, like, did anyone break through the back, just in case.
Okay.
It's, once every hour.
Okay. Excuse me. Great. So you two are sitting in the car with your burgers and your coffees, and you are watching the school. Do you talk about anything? Do you listen to music? What do you do?
I think in between sitting here and waiting, Toby is on his phone. He's probably checking his Facebook. I think he made a post, not recently, a while back. Have you seen this man post with a picture of his brother? So that he regularly checks basically to see if anybody has seen Ken, basically. So he checks on that from time to time just to see if there's an update.
Okay. I'll get back to that in a second. Dwayne, are you doing anything in particular, or are you just
I would strike
on the school?
Conversation with Toby, especially when I see him looking through his timeline, maybe noticing Ken, and asking, like, any suspects? I know you don't have any leads, but
no, it's been months, and I don't know of him having any enemies. But I mean, he was homeless. I mean, anything could happen. He could be anywhere without me knowing. So no leads.
You know, this town turned rotten some time ago. So while I am sorry that you have lost contact with your brother, sorry to say I'm not surprised. A lot of bullshit is going on.
It's not your fault. We came back with too much on our minds, and Ken didn't handle it right. I didn't handle it right, but he had it worse, so it's not your fault. No need to apologize about it.
Back then, earlier, you asked why would the mayor ask us to investigate this, and actually, she was right. It's probably not him. It was probably that woman, Jessica. Neither you nor Ken actually worked for her.
No, this was my first time hearing about Jessica, correct? Or
you probably would have heard of either her, you certainly would have heard of Inzio Construction. It's ubiquitous in Devonsport. As far as meeting Jessica Inzio, you probably have not met her.
No, I know about, the construction, but I don't know her personally. I've never seen her before. I mean, I run jobs for my uncle all the time. I mean, maybe these are jobs that she's telling him he has to do. I mean, from what Ashley said, it seems like she has sway over him, but I've never personally talked to the lady.
Yeah, she does. And if you've never worked with her, I don't know how to put it, but my advice would be to take it that way. That lady and the whole Inzio company is very bad news.
If you say she's bad news, I believe it.
You just don't want to go there.
Got it.
And this brings me to the fact that if she's manipulating the mayor to make us look into this, there must be something she wants out of it.
Yeah, we already figured out that this case is there seems to be a larger thing going on behind the scenes. So, it makes sense that there's a grand scheme of things that we probably have no knowledge of right now.
It's just something to keep in mind.
I will keep it in mind.
Yeah, because, the town might have got into shit, but you're good people, and I wouldn't want you to get hurt if you would like to actually continue working for her. It's not someone, it's not a place for good people.
Okay.
And I think I'm going to, after that, to go around the school and just check, just in case, if someone broke through the back.
Okay. And Toby, you stay in the car. Keep an eye on the front.
Yep.
Okay. Yeah, as Dwayne leaves the car and searches the back, Toby, you're, as you guys were talking, you were looking through your Facebook, scrolling through, any potential sightings. As you're scrolling through, you actually remember the last time you saw your brother Ken. Thinking about it, it's the last sort of good memory that you have with him. It was about 4 months ago, before all this shit with the school shooting. You guys were out camping. There's some good camping out in Washington. You probably headed out together. And what do you think you two did when you went out camping, went out to the wilderness together?
I think we've probably went stargazing, maybe. I think, it's something that centers us. There's, no matter where you go in the world, there's always a night sky. And I think it's the only aspect of when we were deployed that probably kept us sane, I think. Looking at the sky and realizing that we're in the world, we're here, basically.
Yeah. Through the phone, as you're scrolling, you remember that sky on that night. You guys had built a fire. You were sitting around. You were having some beers, just talking about life and looking at the sky. Ken seemed to be better in a way. Seemed a bit happier. Seemed a little bit more stable. His eyes were shining a bit more than usual. And sort of out of nowhere, as you guys were looking at the sky, he tells you, "Man, Toby, I think I'm good. I think I'm going to be all right. I think I finally found a reason to live."
I think at this point, Toby would have still been struggling a little bit, and he probably would have turned to Ken and, if you found a reason, share it. I think I could use it too.
I mean, yeah, just, well, I didn't find it. I think it found me. I don't know if I can tell you about it. I think it has to come to you too,
This is sounding like religion. Have you found religion?
No, it's not religion.
I mean, I wouldn't judge if it was.
It's actually a woman.
Oh, abroad. Okay.
Mm.
Who's the lucky lady?
Well, she's really, really amazing. I'll introduce you sometime.
Can't wait to meet her.
Yeah.
Especially if she helped you. She's all right in my book. More than all right.
Yeah, she's pretty wonderful. Yeah. I'll introduce you sometime.
Good.
And he cracks open another beer and he lays back in his chair. You guys have some of those vinyl camping chairs. And he just leans his head back and stares at the stars as the fire crackles in between you. And you also remember that was your last night camping. And the next day, you came back to Devonsport, and that was the last time you saw Ken Sense.
Shit, I got a fucking name.
Yeah. You're scrolling through Facebook and you see that there are a couple people who saying, yeah, I think I've seen him on Main Street a couple weeks ago. I saw him coming out of the forest around this other street. There's been a couple sightings of Ken. They're not anything concrete or consistent, but it's a couple and, maybe worth checking out at some point.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'll keep that in mind when I have some free time.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So, Dwayne, you are walking out of the car. What's your plan here for checking out the scene? Are you trying to be stealthy about it? Are you going to do, go around the school, or are you just going to go check in the back and then come back? What's your plan?
I'm not exactly being stealthy because, I am a rather large man and not exactly in my prime, so I wouldn't be able to do this even if I tried to. But I'm trying just not to announce my arrival beforehand and too loudly. So maybe I'm just sticking a little bit further away to the shadows. Perhaps there's some sort of a tree shade or shrubbery around the school. So I'm just going around the perimeter. And around the school and then back to the car.
Okay.
Almost like, almost nonchalantly.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I think this is probably the third time you've done this. I think you guys have been here for a number of hours now, chatting, doing this sort of sweep of the back. So it's around midnight, maybe pushing 12:30. And you are making your way back around the school. You are just passing the front entrance again to go back to the car. And Toby, as if you're looking up from your phone, potentially, looking down at the phone, looking up, looking at the front entrance. You can see Dwayne kind of making his way back. You both start to hear faint screams.
So I will immediately hug the wall.
Okay.
Just dart a glare towards Toby, like, to check whether or not he heard it. Because if this is like exhaustion, maybe I should ignore it, like in the police station.
No, I heard it.
You can tell by Toby's face in the window. Toby, do you stay in the car? Because you're watching Dwayne basically sort of, I'd say about 20 yards away at the front of the school, basically. And you can see that he heard something. What do? Do you get out of the car or do you stay there?
I get out of the car. I don't want him chasing after anything by himself. I got his back, so
okay.
I'm out of there with him.
Yeah. You both notice each other, noticing the screams, and the screams are starting to get a little bit louder. It's from multiple people. It's the screams of chaos. It's the screams of, an incredibly scary situation that a lot of people are involved in. But they sound muffled. They sound like they're far away, but getting closer.
This means that there's enough time to approach at least the closest to the hallway window and just look in carefully.
You look in the window into the school, and this window looks into the hallway. That long hallway that goes from the front door to the back door within the school. It's dark. You don't see anything. You still hear those screams though. And again, it's getting louder. It's pressing on your ears. Toby, you're approaching the school as well. Approaching Dwayne.
Yep.
Yeah, these screams are again, it's not piercing. It's muffled sound, but it feels like it's pressing on your eardrums. And through the window, Dwayne, you see no movement. You see there's nobody there. It's dark. It's still. And then you see the flash of a muzzle. 10 times, 20 times in rapid fire. Bam, 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 bam. Inside the school. And the screams on your ears get louder. Toby, as you approach, you also see the light from these muzzle flashes. Bam, 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 bam. The pops of this gunfire, it seems.
Mm-hmm.
What do you guys want to do?
Instinctually, I think that after the first flash, I would duck behind the wall, not to expose myself, but immediately going for the gun. And maybe just freezing for a moment, because I realized that if there's a shooting there and I'm alone and Toby, I'm assuming that he isn't armed.
No.
We need a backup. But I also realize that there has been a lot of weird things going on, and we have been, I don't know, seeing things, hallucinating, and just calling for a backup about a shooting that never happened. That might damage my reputation, that is going to go downhill very fast, very soon. So there is maybe like 5-10 seconds of real hesitation. Something's running in his head.
I don't think Toby goes for cover hearing the gunshots. I think he's in soldier mode right now, hearing a gun going off, and he wants to take down whoever is doing this shooting. So I think he's going to run in the direction, probably zigzagged as he runs, because his thought is, if I could tackle whoever is doing the shooting, we have the next lead, we have the next clue. So he's going in the direction, running in zigzags with the intentions of tackling whoever has this gun.
Okay.
I think that is what will snap actually Dwayne out of this, because he thinks that this unarmed man is just crazy, and Doug behind him just trying to catch him, drag into some sort of a cover, almost like screaming on the top of his lungs, "Are you crazy?"
Okay. So Toby, the gunfire is coming from inside the school, so you would need to open the door of the school in order to go inside to tackle this person.
He will.
Okay. Dwayne, you said that you wanted to intercept Toby.
I feel like as soon as I hear the doors like slamming open, for some reason I imagine him just shouldering that door and barging in.
Okay.
That is why my call, and I will go straight after him and try to actually drag him maybe in some sort of room in the classroom.
Okay. Toby, you enter, and you, like you said, you're in military mode. You are bobbing and weaving, you are zigzagging, you are doing evasive maneuvers. Dwayne, you are sort of stumbling in after Toby, trying to save him from this shooter. When you go inside, there's no more gunshots, no more muzzle flashes. And as soon as you go inside, the oppressive screams stop. And your ears feel like there's no more pressure on them. The pressure is relieved. And I think, Dwayne, you are just on the heels of Toby, and I think you maybe grab his arm. And just as you do that, you both see on the ground in front of you a pool of blood. But there's nobody there. Just a pool of blood and some plaster pieces right in front of you. Dwayne and Toby, you just ran into the school where you heard gunshots and saw muzzle flashes. And when you get in there, you basically almost stumble into a pool of blood and pieces of plaster scattered at your feet. And the hallway is still dark in the school. You can only really see this because of the light, the ambient light from the street lights outside blowing in through the door.
Just because we don't hear or see a shooter doesn't mean it's not there. That's why my plan stays the same, to drag Toby into some sort of cover.
Okay. Toby, what was your plan? Was your plan to...
So I ran out, but I was only greeted with the blood on the floor with plaster in it. There's no figure.
Correct.
And if I don't see anybody, I will let Dwayne drag me to what he thinks is cover.
Okay. So the first classroom that you see, the door's open. You can go in there and close it after you.
Not necessarily close, but there should be something between us and where the mothers and flashes were, and a wall seems like a good idea.
Okay. Yeah. You're in the classroom. The door is closed. And you're listening, I assume. And you're listening. And you keep listening. And you don't hear anything.
Is this classroom Frank's classroom or no, just a random one?
No, this is a random one. So you're near the front door, and Frank's classroom was more towards the back door.
Mm. Sitting in here isn't going to get us any answers.
Yes, running into the shooting won't either.
This is not my first time running into active gunfire.
Is this your first time running into an act of gunfire without any weapons or armor on?
Fair point.
I'm looking around. I'm thinking that, yeah, I should have a gun. Maybe I have a taser. If it's a shooting, I would prefer that my army comrade would have something to protect himself with.
Yeah. If you are wearing your uniform and your policeman's belt, then you would have your firearm. You probably have a taser as well. Flashlights and other sort of things that you would have in your belt. But I think those are the two main weapons, would be the taser and the gun.
This is fucking stupid, because no one should give their own weapon to just some random guy who's not even a policeman. But given the circumstances, I think I can allow it to myself. And I mean, the first idea is to actually give him the taser, but given that he's probably one of maybe two people who I genuinely respect in this town, I didn't want to insult him like that, given that he was in the army and actually under the gunfire. So I would just offer him my handgun, opting for a taser, but will just let him know that this one is tied to my name.
I'm not going to go off shooting random people, I say as I take the gun.
Okay.
And
so, are we staying in the room or are we going out there?
And I'm just looking around, trying to see if there's another door in and out of this classroom, or is this a single one?
There is just this door to this classroom.
And I'm taking breath in, breath out, and nod to Toby. Like, let's go.
Okay.
And
I will head out first since I'm the one with the gun.
Okay. You head out of the classroom. Dwayne, you are following behind with the taser.
now as I'm thinking about it, if Toby looks back at where I am, I think I would just gesture him that I'm going outside and around. Since we're going from the front entrance, I would just rush towards the back one in case someone's trying to flee, and we can just kind of pinch them.
Okay.
There are just two ways out of the school, as far as I know.
He'll give you a nod, that he got that.
And that's what I do. I'm rushing out and just sprinting around towards the back door.
Mm-hmm. How much sprinting do you do, Dwayne, on a regular basis?
Not much anymore, but my fortitude says something else.
Okay.
It's very decent.
Okay. Then, so you sprint around. And yeah, you're still in pretty good shape despite your 60 odd years. And you get to the back pretty quickly. Toby, you are basically clearing the space, right?
Yeah.
Okay. It is a bit dark in this hallway, so your eyes do adjust enough to where you can see. If you saw a person, if a person was standing there or moving around, you'd probably be able to see them, but there are sort of a lot of shadows. There's also a lot of classrooms, so there could be somebody hiding there. You guys do have flashlights, so if you want to use that, you're welcome to. But yeah, are you just going to start going down and clearing rooms and looking for a person? Okay. Flashlight or no flashlight?
I think no flash. I didn't mention it, so no flashlight.
Okay. So
if you want to grab it from, like, in retrospect, from my belt, I wouldn't mind if you need it.
I mean, in retrospect, if that's okay, since I didn't say it before, I would have.
No,
but if
that's fine.
Okay.
Yeah. If you want a flashlight, you guys had flashlights earlier, so I assume you had them in your pockets or something to that effect.
Okay.
So if you want a flashlight, then that's perfectly fine. Okay. Toby, you start to move down the hallway, clearing rooms, checking out the situation. Dwayne, you get to the back door pretty quickly. Maybe you're a little more winded than when you were younger, but you're still in there. You're still focused. You're still good. So you also you have a flashlight, and you can also start checking the hallway, checking the rooms, if you like.
Yeah, same thing, just in my case, without a flashlight by design, I wanted to say. Okay. Because I would rather not alert someone who has a gun to my presence beforehand.
Sure. Okay. So, as you guys are checking things and getting closer to each other, you can see that in the hallway there are more bloodstains on the ground of various sizes. There's some high velocity spray, like from gunshots. You also see pieces of plaster on the floor from the walls. And Toby, if you check with your flashlight, you can see that there are bullet holes on the walls. Fresh bullet holes. Not in the same places where you see them plastered over. They are in different places. Dwayne, you don't have as good visibility of this situation since you're not using a flashlight, but you are able to see with some residual light dark spots on the floor, which you might think are blood stains. Your shoes probably crunch on pieces of plaster. Since you're closer to Frank Dubois' classroom, when you clear that classroom, you do see that there is a large puddle next to the desk there.
I'll stop just to search this classroom with a little bit more care. Because if it is blood, and I would lean down, I would dip my fingers, try to feel whether or not it's blood, actually.
Okay.
It didn't come from nowhere. If there's blood, there must be a wounded person somewhere. Though maybe they ran and Toby got him.
Toby, you continue, and you eventually get to Dwayne, who is now in Frank Dubois' classroom, and he's kneeling down in front of a pool of blood that has reappeared in front of the desk.
Did you find anything? Is what he'll say once he sees Dwayne.
Yes, I'm kind of covering myself from the flashlight, probably with a bloodied hand.
Yeah.
And I'm like, no one, but I mean, look, there must be a wounded man, woman, whatever. Does it feel fresh, by the way? Is it warm, maybe?
Yes, it does.
So I would remark that it's warm, it's fresh. There must be someone wounded.
I haven't seen anybody. I've been checking rooms as I came this way. I didn't run into anyone.
And I stand up and start going somewhat nervously around the classroom. Like checking under the desks, maybe if there are some closets, opening and closing them in search for that person. If they were dead, they would have a body. There is no body, so probably they ran, they hid, maybe went out the window.
Yes, you searched the classroom. And Toby, are you following him with your flashlight?
Yes.
As he's looking around. Yeah, Dwayne, you weave through the students' desks here, trying to look for anybody, and nobody's in here. Your feet, your shoes still crunch on the ground, and you do see also more bullet holes in here. It's quite a few of them.
What the hell is going on? I mean, I'm not hallucinating. You saw that as well, right?
No, we're seeing the same thing, yes. I'm interested in checking the bathroom. I know that's where Ashley was in before she ran out. I'm interested in seeing if there's any blood in there, maybe. Because there is, on the security film, there is time lost. So I'm interested in seeing if there's anything in there.
Okay. You can head to the bathroom.
Because I don't want to be alone.
Yeah.
But I will say, as we walk to the bathroom, I don't want to sound crazy, but if this is happening every night, if this is why construction cannot patch up the bullet holes in the wall, do you think this is also the reason why the gun might be hot at the police station? That even though there's nobody using it, that somehow this is happening every night?
I'm like rubbing my face a little, smearing blood across it, and go like, if we apply some dream logic to this, then it would make sense. But this isn't how things are supposed to work.
Nothing is working how it's supposed to work.
Maybe we're just missing something.
Maybe. I mean, we can still keep looking, but I'm just throwing theories out there.
Because if this is happening the way you say it's happening, what the hell do we do with this?
Yeah, because how do we report this? I mean, this is nonsense. I mean, we report it, then what? What do they got to do about it? There's nothing to be done about it if there's no one.
I'll tell you what they're going to do about it. They will get us into asylum. That's what they're going to do.
Well, I'm not saying we go around spreading the story. I'm saying we continue to look, but we look until we feel it's too dangerous for us. I mean, we can give my uncle what we have. I mean, we did our jobs. We investigated. But if it comes to the point where it's already getting out of hand, but we followed the leads we have. If this is beyond us, beyond the physical world, whatever, I don't know how to describe magic, man. If this is beyond us. When he says that, he makes a face.
Yes, I understand. Just no one will believe us. Yes, and if they do, they wouldn't be able to come up with what to do with this. But what do we do with this? Like, yeah, we follow the lead, but if there is some sort of, I don't know, voodoo magic that teleports the gun here, makes the new holes, and then teleports it back. If no one else knows what to do with it, how come we would know what to do with it?
We don't know what to do with it. I mean, we investigate what we can, and we leave the rest alone. That's what I'm getting from this.
Yeah, I suppose. It's like, it's worse than going to a snake's den or a lion's den. We're just jumping into something we don't really understand. And maybe unable to comprehend, because I don't know what to think about it. But let's go to the bathroom. Who knows? Clues, whatever.
Okay. You both go to the bathroom. The ladies' room or the men's room?
The ladies.
Mm-hmm. You open the door. Gives a little bit of a creak as you open it. And you look inside, and there's nobody in there. You maybe look through the stalls. It's quiet. And there's no bullet holes in here. There's no blood. It's empty.
It's logical that she would go to the ladies' room out of habit, but which bathroom would have been closer to her when the shooting started?
Let's just check all the stalls. Toby will go down the line of stalls and just start opening them up.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you open them up. You don't see anything. It's empty in here. It's very, very quiet.
I'll check the other one.
Okay.
And my thought process is if she was near the classroom and the nearest bathroom was the men's room, she might have hidden in the men's room.
Yeah. You go to the men's room. Toby, are you following? Or are you staying in the ladies' room? Or going somewhere else?
I guess I will follow because I didn't find anything in the ladies' room, so I will follow.
Okay. Toby, you lead the way in the men's room. And again, you search in here. You don't really find anything. There's no people in here. And again, it's just very eerily quiet. Dwayne, you look in the mirror, and even with some ambient light, you can see that, yes, indeed, you have some blood on your face. The blood is still feels warm. Feels warm on your hand. It's starting to dry, so it's a little sticky, but it's strange. It still feels warm to the touch. Like it's just been bled out of somebody.
It is strange, and it is the first thing that I remarked when I actually dipped my fingers into that. And the knee-jerk reaction at seeing like the blood smeared across my face is to reach out for the faucet to get the water flowing, wash it off. Though some sort of curiosity picks in, so while I'm trying to use one hand to wash off the blood from my face, I'm just interested at how this one, my fingers, would actually behave further. Like, is it even real? If it's real, does it behave like normal blood, like coagulating, cooling off? Will it disappear come morning or whatever? I don't know how this works.
So you keep the blood on your hand?
At least for a while.
Okay. Toby, you see Dwayne sort of washing the smeared blood off of his face. What are you doing, thinking?
I don't. He's just trying to find clues, like trying to see. He's thinking of that quick moment of missing footage in the security camera, and he's trying to think about what happened in those seconds. Basically, what happened before Patrick managed to get Ashley at gunpoint. She was in the bathroom, and the next scene is him having the gun to her head. So he's just wondering what happened in those moments, I guess. So he's going through the stalls. He's looking for anything that can alert him to that.
Okay. You think about the case files that you read through earlier. And you remember her testimony. She saying that she was in the bathroom when the shooting started. And she thought that she had an opportunity to run. And when she tried to run, she tripped, twisted her ankle, and he was on her with a gun pointed at her head. You're looking around and you're starting to think about this. And you're starting to see it in your mind. And Dwayne, you also, as you're washing this off, but you're keeping the blood on one of your hands. Maybe you're looking at it and sort of feeling the tackiness with your fingers. You both smell gunpowder. Toby, you hear what you think is heavy breathing. Scared, heavy breathing. And then you hear footsteps, tennis shoes on linoleum. And you hear the fall, full body fall, slap against the floor. And you don't hear any more footsteps, but you hear laughter. A gut-wrenching, evil laughter. Dwayne, you start to hear this laughter too.
Oh, I'm having flashbacks about that.
Yeah. It's a full-bodied, manic laughter. Almost screaming laughter. I would like both of you to roll Keep It Together. Please.
I have a question about this role, because this might influence it. I have two conditions, one of which is from the last game that actually influences these roles. Do I remove any of them, or do they stay?
You can remove the one from the last session.
All right.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Both got partial successes. All right. So, Dwayne, we'll start with you. This laughter that you hear, you know it's Eric's laughter. Even though you don't know him, really, you were told to stay away, you were told to keep your distance. You did it. You did what Ava told you. To a certain extent. But you don't know how you feel it in your gut. This laugh is Eric's laugh. He somehow found enjoyment from this. He is finding enjoyment from this. He is the key to this. If you'd like to make your choice.
Hearing that laughter, I immediately turned around, looking for the person laughing. And remember how I heard it for the first time back there in the administration. It terrified me, and it terrifies me again.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe in any other circumstances, I would have become a little bit obsessed with this, wanting to find Eric to put this all together. But currently I am terrified, so I am taking scared.
Okay. Toby, you also hear this laughter. However, the laughter starts as male, but slowly morphs into a female laughter. And it's not very maniacal. It actually turns kind of sweet. Maybe more genuine. And you hear a voice, maybe a voice that you haven't heard in a while, but it's familiar to you. A woman's voice. Toby. 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 And that's all.
Oh. That voice that kept saying, Toby over and over. Is it familiar to me? Like, have I heard it before?
You have, indeed. It's been a little bit. It's been a while since you've heard it, but it is very familiar to you.
Is it the woman I made the deal with?
Yeah.
I think in this moment, Toby he was scared earlier, but I think now he's angry. I think he's angry at the fact that there's this male voice laughing as he is hearing the struggle his cousin went through. Family's very important to him. And his cousin was almost killed, and this voice is laughing about it, the male one. and there's the female one, and that makes the anger increase because angry with himself, angry with her. She brings out conflicted feelings within him, and when he's conflicted, rage is the first place that he goes because rage gets things done. Anger gets stuff done for him. So he is angry.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So what happens?
Looking for the source of the voice, the laughter.
Okay. Toby?
I'm not even, I don't think he's even waiting to listen. I think if he hears it, he's going straight in that direction. He's not even stopping to think. He's like, those sick fucks, where are they? And he leaves out the bathroom in the direction of whatever laugh, wherever the sound of the laughter is coming from.
Okay. The laughter seemed to be coming from everywhere. It's all around you. I mean, maybe it's real, maybe it's in your head. You can't pick a direction.
If there's no direction, then he's just going in circles, looking around the room, looking for enemies in the shadows, basically. That's what he's doing in this moment.
Okay.
I know what direction I'm going.
Okay.
If the laughter is from every side, because tentatively he's following Toby out, but still trying to kind of put this all together in a logical manner in the world that he knows works. He's thinking that maybe the speakers, the dynamics, whatever, maybe someone's just putting this laughter through them, through administration. So he's going there. He's not rushing, and he seems to be almost trying to sneak, going very carefully, looking around, opening doors slowly and just peeking before he goes in.
Okay. You open the doors, and you still don't see anybody. The laughter is pounding in your head, but there's nobody here. Toby, you're just circling. You're trying to do what you can with this rage that you have. The laughter for you, Toby, diminishes, and all that you're left with is the woman's voice. Toby. What do you want to do, Toby?
Still pissed. I think he's just talking to the air since there's not like a physical person to talk to as he hears her call him. And he's, I want you to come out. I want you to show yourself. I'm tired of you playing fucking mind games with me. Stop calling me and show yourself. Like he has the gun, he's waving the gun around. He's pissed.
Okay. Dwayne, where are you going?
I was going to check the administration to see if someone's actually putting this laughter through the speakers, through the school speakers, but I assume I don't find anyone in anything.
You don't find anybody, you don't see anybody.
And almost similarly with what happens to Toby somewhere in the hallways, my hands just fall to my sides and I'm going like, why? Why did you do this? To what end? You didn't even know them. Why? Though I feel like Dwayne understands that he probably won't get an answer. It won't be this simple.
And Dwayne would be correct. The laughter starts to diminish. It diminishes into something that sounds very far away, and then it stops. And Dwayne, you're left with the quiet, the still of this empty school. And Toby, you're yelling and shouting into the air. And you hear, "We'll be together soon." And the laughing diminishes, the voice diminishes, and all is quiet. And you two are left in the stillness of the empty school.
Somehow this is even worse.
Yeah.
If you think to check the time, it's about 3:30 in the morning now.
I will be very slowly stumbling out of administration and towards the closest exit. Without even telling Toby anything, I need to get out of here. This is a little bit too much for me.
Yeah.
At this point, Toby is done yelling. I think he's a little defeated, especially with that last ominous sentence that was thrown his way. If he hears Dwayne walking away, he will turn to leave as well. It doesn't matter if they stay. They can't fight something that won't come to them.
Yeah. You two head outside, back towards the car. The early morning hours are still very quiet, very still. There's a breeze that is blowing through the trees and the surrounding forest. And there's still a light mist, a light fog that dampens the street lights as you get to your vehicle.
I'm leaning on the hood of the car and just looking at the bloodied fingers, almost like hoping that it went away.
It's still there.
The damage is still there. It means it's real. And looking at the blood and wondering whether or not if I bring it to the station or the hospital and they check it, will it be the blood of Dubois? And that gets me thinking. We had one unidentified kind of blood on the crime scene. And we don't know who that is, but since we have a suspect, I think we could try and make sure that this is him. If I am Eric's father, then this connection could be found through DNA testing. I think there's familial connection, but probably not the same person. Maybe that is what needs to be done. How will I present it to whoever's dealing with it? To forensic technician, I think. I have no clue.
Mhm.
I'll think of something.
Just to let you know, you know where Eric Switzer lives. You know where he works, at least the last place that you heard where he lives and where he works. You know that he graduated high school and moved to Seattle. And last you heard, that's where he's been for the past couple of years.
We know someone who might know more. Well, I know someone who might know more. That can be done at the same time. Asking for someone to test my blood against that unknown one. And while they're doing that, digging there. Unless Toby has a better idea about that, because he's not a cop, but he has had some very good ideas before and certain enlightenments. And I'm beginning to trust in his expertise with this whole case.
Toby is going to hand you back your gun. I think having your blood tested against the unidentified blood that was found would be useful in proving that he was there instead of Patrick. So I think it's a good idea. I do.
Okay.
All right. What's next? We've got so much shit in our hands.
It's 3 a.m. Man, I think we both need to part for a bit. Get a shower, get a nap, and then start up again. But it's 3 a.m. We got to take a break.
Yeah, but honestly,
But we
I
have
will be
leads
very
to
surprised
follow.
if I get a nap. Come on, I need you to drive you back to your car.
Okay.
All right. Unless there's any more discussion between the two of you as to what's happening tomorrow, I think we can expedite this, where Dwayne takes Toby to his car and you go your separate ways for the evening. Okay. So, Toby, we'll start with you. You get to your car. Do you drive home?
Yeah, but I think I probably take a detour on the way home, driving through the parts that were mentioned on the Facebook post
Okay.
about where Ken might be. So I probably take a drive through there, even if it's out the way, before making my way home.
Okay. Yeah. You take the long way home. You drive to the streets, to the parks, to the places where you heard on the Facebook posts that Ken might be, and you don't see anybody at this time of night. There might be homeless people there, but they might be hiding, trying to keep away from eyesight so that they don't get hassled by police officers or anything. So if you stay in your car and you're just driving around, you don't really see anybody.
Okay.
So you make it home. I would like to know what your home looks like.
I think it's very sparse. Obviously my mom has money, but I don't like asking her for money, so
Yeah.
And I know I probably have my pension from when I was in the army, so it doesn't look, like a poor man lives here, but it is a 1-bedroom. I didn't try to go out my way to get a family home. There wouldn't be much decoration or anything. It's a bachelor pad, yeah.
Yeah.
I have what I need and no more than that.
Okay. And do you just sort of fall straight to bed?
No, I would take a shower first. I would check my messages to see if anybody sent me anything. Sometimes my uncle texts me. I did tell Ashley that she could text me. Maybe, and it's wishful thinking, but maybe Ken stole a phone and managed to text me anything really. So I go through that, and then I'll fall into bed.
Okay. You did get a text message earlier in the evening, but you may not have seen it. It's your uncle just asking, is there any progress? Let me know what you find. Talk to you tomorrow. Nothing too crazy, but
I think he looks at that message and he just thinks about the fact that what Ashley said about this Jessica woman being the one who probably is why my uncle is so interested in this. And then thinking about what Dwayne said And I would probably text my uncle back, hey, it's been a long day. Um, we found some stuff, but it's not anything that can be logically explained. I'm telling you this for you to tell um whoever it is that you need to report back to. But if there is someone you're reporting back to, tell them that this seems to be beyond what should be possible. There's a
Okay.
lot of nonsensical things happening.
Okay. You don't get a response. He's probably asleep at this point. And yeah, you head to bed after that. Twain,
Yes.
you drop Toby off at his car, and do you go straight home?
In a way, I'm driving home, but stopping the car first in front of my house for no apparent reason. Just sitting there, maybe for 20, 30 minutes, staring into the darkness, trying to kind of force myself to comprehend what is going on. It's hard, you know. It seems like Toby took it much, much easier than myself. But then he's younger. This whole thing might come of age. Damn, I wanted to talk to Carol tonight. That's not happening. I'm looking once more at the bloodstains on my hand. Decide that it's probably enough. It's not going away. It's real. Just rummaging through the car looking for some napkins. Maybe I have them. Maybe there's some left after our trip to the burger joint to just scrape it off. And I'm then going home. It would be logical, as Toby said, to go to the shower and try to get some sleep. But I just come in, I sit on the sofa in the dark, just staring through the room, nowhere in particular. Because it's like this, it's when you're shocked, or even if you have some sort of PTSD, your brain still tries to put all the things that you've experienced on shelves, proverbial shelves, that so you can kind of comprehend what had happened, to make it logical, to build this sort of weird chain of events, comprehend it and calm down. But I lack the shelf for this. So it's hanging in my brain. And it's feeling like I am just some sort of an old computer that cannot finish the command it's trying to finish. So I'm sitting there staring in the dark, and if sleep comes, it comes. It would be perfect. If not, well, then the dawn comes.
Okay.
And back to work it is.
Yeah. I think you do eventually fall into a type of sleep, maybe a It's not a very deep sleep, but you remember sitting on the couch, and then you remember possibly waking up on the couch. I would also like to know what your house looks like, Dwayne. How do you live?
On the contrary to Toby's, this is actually a family house because I used to have a family. I had a wife, we had a daughter. Maybe at some point we have been considering having another child, but that never happened. At some point, perhaps there were even grandchildren before they moved out. But now I'm alone, and this house is way too big and empty for one person. Maybe I should have sold it and gotten myself another one, but I got used to this. And besides, it holds memories. Some of them are bad, most of them are good. And it's nice sometimes to be surrounded by good memories. However, most of this house, since it's so big, is staying unused and it almost looks like it's some sort of an altar to the times past, to people who passed away. Nothing kind of moves in most of the rooms. Things stay as they were, and sides from my side of the bedroom, maybe a small spot in the living room and kitchen, nothing else is used. Everything is just there, stuck in time.
Yeah. A mausoleum, so to speak.
Yes, a mausoleum.
Yeah. Like I said, you sat on the couch, and then seemingly a couple seconds later it was dawn, and you're still on the couch. And Toby, you also wake up at some point in your bed. Did you guys make a plan to meet with each other somewhere, sometime?
I think we were too shocked to make plans.
We did
Possibly,
not, but I would assume we at least exchanged numbers.
Yeah. I would say you guys have each other's numbers for sure.
Yeah, so I'm free all day, so I would just be waiting for whenever Dwayne wanted to follow up on any of the leads.
He would wake up in the morning, realized that he didn't have any nightmares this time, probably because this slumber was so shallow. And that is when he will go to the shower, try to wash the last night off, check the time, and he'll probably try to call Toby after maybe 8 a.m. if he didn't wake up later, and ask him whether or not he wants to go and bother the parents.
He'll send you a thumbs up, and then he'll send, sounds like a plan, just give me a time and where you want to meet.
I believe I wrote down their address. Was it 228 South Boom Street?
We'll say that that's it, yeah.
And so that address goes to him, and I'll just write that I'll be there in 30. At least I hope I didn't lie, and I make it in probably less than 30 minutes.
Actually, I need some clarification. Are you going to the Wilson's house, or are you going to the Switzer's house?
I would say to Wilson's.
Okay.
Because that one, that needs a gentler approach.
Mm-hmm. Okay. The two of you meet at the Wilson's house. And we'll say you get there around the same time, give or take a minute or two from each other. The Wilson's home looks very at least you would say that it at one time looked very pleasant, very very much like a family home should look. It's a 2-story, very roomy house. It looks like there's enough rooms for each kid and each person to have their own space. The lawn outside looks cut. It looks like the bushes and the trees look like they were taken care of. They probably had gardeners. It looks like it used to be that way. Now you can see that the front lawn is a little overgrown. Maybe not too overgrown, but it looks like it could use a mow. The trees and the bushes aren't quite as neatly trimmed. And you can see that there's maybe some eggshells on the lawn, maybe some remnants of toilet paper or other garbage, really. And you can also see that the house has a fresh coat of paint in certain areas. Paint that didn't quite cover the murderer that somebody wrote in black spray paint. And then the other sort of vulgar symbols, words that they did their best to paint over, but you can still see it.
God damn it, kids. I know this isn't kids, but you know.
Yeah.
Haven't we placed a patrol car here so this doesn't happen?
Doesn't look like you did.
Time to extend that offer then.
So you two are together and looking at the Wilson's house.
Sleep.
I'm gonna look at Dwayne. This time I'll let you take the lead. I don't have a great reputation, so taking the lead with Ashley was one thing, but I think in this case they probably, you are a authority figure here, so it's probably better for you to do most of the talking.
Yeah, but if you have anything to ask, don't be shy.
I will, but I'll keep a respectful distance. But if I do have anything to add, I will.
And I'm walking towards the front entrance, kind of looking at the driveway, or maybe they have a garage, trying to see whether or not there is a car there or they left. Because I'm not sure whether both parents work, they wouldn't be here, or maybe just one parent works and the other stays home.
So, you would probably know this from the file. Patrick's father works. He actually works in Seattle, like a lot of people in Devonsport. He commutes to Seattle, works at a marketing firm. And his name is Paul Wilson. And Clara is the mother. And they have another child, a daughter named Elizabeth, who was a couple years younger than Patrick. Clara, the mother, she is stay-at-home mother. And you don't see any cars in the driveway, but there is a garage, so could be a car in the garage, which is closed. And you could also see that there is paint on the garage where they tried to hide some sort of graffiti that somebody did on their property.
That reminds me, as I'm walking and ringing doorbell and looking over to Toby and going, didn't you want to talk to the sister?
I am interested in asking the sister a few questions, just because I think, younger siblings, they're nosy. They're always in their older siblings' business. And as he says this, he's thinking of kin, but it's they probably know things that the parents don't know.
Makes sense.
Okay. Knock at the door?
Well, I hope they have a doorbell.
Or doorbell, yeah. You ring the doorbell. You hear some hesitant footsteps approaching. And from the other side, you hear a woman's voice. I have the phone, and I will call the police.
No need, Miss Wilson. It's Officer McLean. May I have a word?
Oh. And you hear the footsteps approaching. Sounds like she's looking through the peephole, and then she finally opens the door. Officer McLean, sorry about that. There's been a lot of, yeah.
Would you feel safer if I ask a patrol car to stay across the road?
Yes, that would be great. Yeah, that would be great. Thank you. How can I help you?
I apologize that I need to open the wounds, but the mayor asked us to look into all of this one more time.
You want to ask about Patrick again?
Yes, I know it hurts, and believe me, I would rather not do that. But, the mayor insisted, just in case we missed something. And, I don't want to give you false hope, but maybe we did miss something earlier.
Okay, well, who is this with you? Who's this young man with you?
Always, Tovi Povic. My uncle is the mayor. He wanted me to come and help, the chief as much as I can. I'm sorry to intrude.
Toby is a war hero. He is a military, so I thought since we have to deal with military weapons, he would be of great assistance.
Yes, all right. Come in. Probably best to not talk outside. Yeah, come in. And yeah, she closes the door, and she leads you to the living room area and says, have a seat. I'll if you want some coffee or water. I do need to Elizabeth is well, I need to tell her to stay in her room. She hasn't gone back to school.
I was just about to ask whether or not Elizabeth is at home. She might have noticed something as well.
I think that would require a charisma roll from you, or yeah, I think it's a charisma roll in order to make her okay with, influence other, in order to ask her to
Brilliant one.
That was pretty horrible. So you can see her getting a little angry, and she says, Elizabeth knows nothing about this. You leave her out of this. You can ask me whatever you like. Ask me whatever you like. Elizabeth stays out of this. She does not get involved again. She has been through quite enough.
Right. Fair enough. That I say to her, but I'm darting Toby a look like maybe you will need to scale the wall into her window.
He's not going to do that.
So she turns away from you after giving you a piece of her mind, and she quickly goes down the hall. There's like a staircase that you can see. So she goes upstairs quickly, and you could hear a little bit of a hushed whispering, something like, stay in your room, don't come out, just I'll come and get you, and stuff like that. And then she comes back, and unless you ask for any refreshments, she sits down opposite you on a chair and sort of shrugs, says, so what do you want to know?
Again, I'm very sorry about what's happening there. But recently we have been approached by a couple of people that are sure that it wasn't really Patrick's idea and someone actually influenced him into all of this. I'm not sure whether it's true or not. I'm not sure who this person is, but we're digging there. And since it's all just began, perhaps you or your husband have noticed him talking to someone maybe approximately after the last Olympiad.
As he says this, I am going to push the picture that Ashley drew for us, because I still have it. I'm going to push it across the table in her direction just to see. Yeah, and if speaking of, people who he might have recently come in contact with, if you maybe recognize this man, and you can recall him being in proximity to Patrick, that would give us a lead.
She looks at the picture, and by the way, she also, in general, she looks like she's in her 40s, probably mid to late 40s. A good-looking woman, but she has very dark circles under her eyes. Looks like she has been crying often. She looks pretty exhausted. And she's sitting in the chair. She has her hands folded in front of her. She looks at the picture and shakes her head. No, I don't recognize this man. Listen, Patrick was a good boy. He was so smart and kind. I mean, I can't tell you any suspicious behavior or suspicious people. Like, there was just nobody around. He hung out with Ashley and with Hussein, who are also, lovely kids. And he was, the Science Olympiad. He won in Seattle. He won an award. And Mr. Dubois was very he's been such a great influence on him. I can't imagine. I can't imagine him doing this by himself, and I can't imagine him doing this with another. I can't imagine him being influenced like this by somebody else, but that's what it has to be. He couldn't have done this himself. He just couldn't. He wasn't that type of person. And she starts to, I think she's continuing to ramble here, maybe getting a little bit anxious. Just keeps repeating, he wasn't that type of boy. That wasn't my boy.
I don't know, I'm not the most charming fella out there, but still, understanding that this is opening wounds that are not even started to heal up, I would reach over and just try to squeeze her forearm, sort of reassuringly, but I also understand that she might not take it well. After all, it were my people who shot her son And now I'm here and trying to poke there.
Yeah. Yeah. You reach over and try to give her a reassuring hand. She kind of flinches away from it and fixes her hair. I appreciate your are trying to find out more, find out a motive, find whatever you police officers call it. I don't know what I can tell you.
Well, we think that they might have come into contact in Seattle, maybe while he was doing his competition there for his science competition, which is, I mean, again, you already told us there wasn't really a change in friends. Maybe like there was a change in behavior after Seattle, or no?
Well, it makes sense that people from the city would be a terrible influence. But no, there was, trust me, I've been replaying his actions the last couple months, the last couple years, his whole life. I've been replaying it over and over in my head. And he was happy after the Olympiad. He'd won. He had been working so hard on studying for that, on preparing. He was very proud of himself. We were all very proud of him. I
want to assure you that we have no doubt that Patrick was a very nice young man. And this is why we keep coming back and insisting on talking, because it makes no sense and everybody knows that. And this is why we're talking right now.
Not everybody. And she points to her front door.
If I'm being honest, I think they know too, but they are just hurting too much to think straight. I don't think it comes from a place of malice, it comes from a place of pain. They don't want to do that, not really, but they don't know how to express it. But this is why we came here, because we've got this small little lead that might have explained what had happened really. Explained that your son is not a murderer, but he is a victim of some sort of malicious person that tried to influence him in a certain way. And that is why we've asked about Elizabeth. She's a little sister. She looks up to him. Maybe she noticed something weird going on in talking to someone, maybe chatting online, that sort of thing. Because even the tiniest thing out of the ordinary would help. Because what we have is already a very tiny, very fragile little lead. And we need something, anything to support it.
As he says this, I am going to, I think, start, take out a piece of paper and pencil and start writing my number. And his number as well, because I have his number. We're not asking to talk to her. You already set your boundaries, and I will not intrude on that. But if you talk to her, and if you find out, maybe he was talking to somebody online that you didn't know about, text us. I mean, I respect what you said. She shouldn't be involved in this anymore. She doesn't need any more outsiders who aren't her family talking to her. So I will leave that with you for you to make your decision on that.
She reaches over and takes the number and looks at it. And she says, yes, thank you. I appreciate that. And yeah, thank you. Thank you both. I don't mean to seem ungrateful. I do know in my heart that Patrick was also a victim. I do. And if you're trying to find out how that happened, then thank you. Yes. Yes, I will talk to Elizabeth, and I will call you if she says anything.
Okay.
I don't really want to intrude, but maybe he took some sort of photos from the Olympiad, the ones that he hadn't posted online, or rather that Ashley didn't. Maybe on his phone.
He might have. If you... I can look at his phone and his computer. We have this, and she gets up and she actually goes to a drawer in her... She has like a sort of entertainment center, and there's some drawers and stuff, and she opens one of them and takes a framed picture out, and and she hands it to the two of you. It's a picture of Patrick and Frank Dubois, and Patrick is holding a trophy, and he's smiling and he's shaking Frank's hand, and Frank also looks incredibly happy. So yeah, it's just a little photo op after Patrick won. And Clara says, we got the professional pictures from the Olympiad. Obviously, there's that picture. I don't know if he took other pictures. He didn't say he did, but I'll check and I'll let you know if there's anything, if I find anything.
If it's hard for you to look through that, you can bring the tech here. We will look through it with you overseeing that we don't overstep any boundaries. If it's too hard. And I'm actually looking at that photo, just in case there's someone in the background, someone who looks like Eric.
No, there isn't. So the background is just kind of like a blue sort of curtain type thing. It looked like it was a specific place for this photo op at the competition. She actually nods her head and she says, well, yes, if you want to look at them here, I just don't, I don't want them to leave the house. I don't want anything happening to them. This, it's what I have.
Understandable.
Left of my boy. I can go get them. And she goes upstairs to go get them. And unless you guys are chatting, she'll come back pretty quickly, and she has a laptop and a phone, and she'll write down the passwords for you and everything. She says, I'm just gonna go. I have some things to do. If you want to look at those, I'll be back in a while.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
And I think I will just delegate the laptop to Toby.
Okay.
He knows it better, and all the while I'll be handling the phone. As she was going, I did mention to Toby that I sort of was considering asking about his routine and figuring out when it stopped and something weird started happening. But given the circumstances of what we saw in school, I'm not very sure that this is going to help in any way.
Yeah, I'm not sure either, because if we're thinking there was a swap, I mean, there wouldn't be any tales from Patrick. I mean,
The most logical thing that I'm thinking is that if there was a swap, it happened in the woods. Is it normal for him to go in the woods?
yes, that's also what I'm thinking. I'm thinking that after we're done here, maybe we just take a stroll, just to look around. Because in the video of him leaving his house, he went to the woods in the back, if I recall correctly. So maybe taking a look at that after this would be helpful.
It would be helpful to take a look in his room, but that would be too much at this point, especially since the case is closed. I can push my authority only this much.
Okay.
So yeah, I think that Toby's going to look through the laptop. Yeah. I'm going to fumble with his phone.
Okay. Seems like she's sort of given you enough time to look through both of these items. So I won't have you roll for this. The laptop is very normal. It's a normal teenage boy's laptop. There's there's some pictures on there. You go through them, and there is pictures of him and Ashley, like out on dates, him and Hussein, and there's some other kids in the pictures too. It looks like just people from school. Nothing terribly suspicious, just, kids posing for pictures on their phones. Mm-hmm. You do find pictures from the Science Olympiad, it looks like. It's not a lot of pictures. It's maybe 10 or so. And Dwayne, you're also looking through his phone. And it looks like he did move you see the same pictures on his phone as on the laptop. So it looks like he had already brought the pictures on to the laptop. You don't find anything else suspicious on his phone, like no text messages to strange people, nothing that sets alarm bells off for you, as far as that's concerned. You start to look at the photos of the Science Olympiad, and the pictures are mostly of Patrick standing in front of places in Seattle, like, tourist pictures. He's in front of the the Space Needle. He's in front of the market by the ocean. He's in front of Mount Rainier. In one of the pictures, it looks like him and Frank are sort of taking a selfie with each other. You do see somebody in the background of this picture. You think you see Eric in the background. Eric Switzer in the background of this picture.
That
and he has
exactly what I was looking for.
But he's not in the picture. He is walking on the street in the background. It doesn't look like the Patrick or Frank know he's there. And you see that Eric has a smile on his face.
That is the question.
Maniacal smile.
They don't know that he's there, but does he know that they are there? Maybe he's darting a look. Maybe he has some sort of a posture that would say that he had noticed them.
He certainly noticed Frank. It looks like he knows Frank from this picture.
Gotta look into that.
Yes, I would elbow Toby and say that since he has the laptop, look on the bigger screen for this photo, because there's our guy.
All right.
And just in case, since I have the phone, I'm sure it would be nothing, but just in case, I'm going to go through the latest contacts and meticulously write down all the numbers. They need to be checked, because I don't know, he might have named a contact Ashley, but it's someone else. Who knows?
Yeah. Yeah, you do that. And I'll say you also, I'll say you have a USB stick handy. You can take the photo. You can take any other pictures or information from the computer that you like.
Yeah, I definitely make sure we have a copy of that photo, though.
Mm-hmm.
Does he have anything suspicious in his search history?
Besides the occasional, maybe pornography search that possibly a typical teenage boy might search for. Otherwise, not really. Just it's looks like a lot of stuff for homework. Looks like looking up, places to eat. Just nothing out of the ordinary. Nothing about guns, nothing about, nothing morbid or nothing, no 4chan or anything like that.
Maybe check for any emails from his science teacher.
Okay.
I don't expect them to have messages. That would be unprofessional. But maybe school emails from the teacher. Maybe they had a more personal relationship. I don't know, some connection.
So there are a number of emails from Frank Dubois, and actually there are text messages from Frank Dubois as well. It looks like they were concentrated around the time that they would have been in Seattle, so keeping in touch with each other in Seattle. And yeah, the emails are there. I mean, it's basically about Science Olympiad. Schedule for meeting after school, curricula for the Olympiad. Basically, it's mostly having to do, I wouldn't say mostly, it all has to do with Science Olympiad and everything concerned with it. You do notice there are a lot of emails about it. It's almost kind of an obsessive amount of emails about the Science Olympiad, and it seems like it's a little excessive, the number of emails.
Well, we at least have the connection between Eric and Frank we can look into, if anything.
Well, that much is true. Also, I feel like that is the connection we need to go after, but I know that these email sites, like when you delete a message, usually writes, like, it goes into the bin of sorts, which will be cleared.
Trash.
Yes, that one.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe he deleted something, but not entirely.
You check, and there is nothing in the trash, really, besides spam emails and stuff like that. Yeah. The general feeling that you get from the correspondence of Frank with Patrick is that Frank was a little obsessive about the Science Olympiad, and especially a little obsessive about making sure Patrick was studying and Patrick was ready for it. And Patrick has a lot of potential, but if he doesn't study and practice, then it's not going to, then he's not going to succeed, no matter how smart he is. It's a lot of that sort of tone of emails from him. A little intense.
I was just about to ask him if it sounds pushy.
Yeah. Certainly.
And there I wondered if you've always been like this. I don't want for the mother to hear this, but grooming is not always about some sexual thing. This looks like some other kind of grooming.
Yeah, there's. I definitely get that feeling as well.
Do you know if there are any similar trash things on the phone?
I know with photos, you once you delete them, there's like, unless you empty the bin, there's a certain amount of days, and then it'll delete permanently. Maybe check the trash photos
closer
if you want.
to him. Like, where is it? Where is it?
He'll take the phone and he'll go to the trash bin on the photos.
Mm-hmm.
I understand that we are probably currently barking on the wrong tree, but I don't want us to regret not checking.
Yeah. You have enough time to thoroughly check all the avenues of the phone and the laptop. And there was nothing deleted, no pictures deleted, nothing deleted that is suspicious. You basically, what you find is the picture with Eric Switzer in the background and the correspondence with Patrick and Frank, where Frank Dubois is quite pushy and intense with his insistence that Patrick be at his best for the Science Olympiad.
Okay.
And
After our
Clara,
trip to the woods, we probably should look into Frank.
Yeah. I was also thinking that maybe kids have an extra phone or an extra laptop just to keep things hidden from their parents. But given that in search history we already have porn, it doesn't look like he has another device.
No.
Because otherwise he would Google that on another one.
Yeah. Clara comes back and she says, did you get what you needed?
This was extremely helpful to the case, actually.
Yes.
Good. Well, thank you for looking into it more, and thank you for believing in Patrick.
Thank you for helping us, and I really hope that we will find that bastard.
Yeah, I hope so. Yeah.
We were going to go check his path to the school. Say, is it normal for him to go through the woods?
No, I mean, as far as I didn't walk with him. He was old enough to walk himself. But as far as I knew, he walked to Hussein's house every day, and they walked to school. Going to the woods would have been out of his way to go to school.
Well, then something happened here, I think. And if it's not normal, do you think that maybe he started acting a little bit weird while at home? Haven't eaten something, ignored goodbyes?
The only time he was acting weird was that morning. Otherwise, he was the same old Patrick.
Very morning, or maybe after a certain time. Maybe he called someone and started acting weird.
I don't know what to tell you. He acted like Patrick, and then that morning, all he said was time to get to work, which I thought was strange at the time, but that's what he said, and he left the house without his phone and without his backpack, and that was it. That was the last day. That was the last time I saw him.
Okay. Don't want to take up any more of your time. Thank you for what you have given us. I know it was hard to do so. We're just gonna check out the woods behind your house, just because in our footage it seemed he went back there before, going to the school. So we're just going to take a stroll. But other than that, we
Sure.
won't bother you anymore today.
Yeah, that's fine. Thank you. Yes. And she shows you out. Looks like she's having a little trouble composing herself, so she tries to hurry you out as much as possible. And yeah, she shuts the door behind you.
As we're going out, I will even on the go dial up Peter and ask him to that like someone's been terrorizing the Wilsons. Please send a patrol car.
Yeah. No problem, Chief. Will do. Okay.
To the woods then.
The woods.
That's right. To the woods. And we
more
will
time passes. With this, the less I perceive Eric as my son.
Right. I think we will end it here and explore the woods next time for session 3. So thank you two very much. It was a lot of fun. And yeah, we'll see everybody next time. Bye.
Bye.
Thank you for joining us for this recorded actual play presented by the Illusion Horror and Con. We'd like to thank our game master, players, and all other contributors to this video. Please comment, like, and subscribe if you enjoyed this actual play. And let us know what you think of this episode in the Illusion Horror community spaces. Respectfully, of course. For more information, schedules, and future events, please visit our website and join our Discord server. Links are in the description. Thanks for listening, and see you next time.